Hey, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to the Inside Jays podcast. Before we begin, I want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, Gassy Jack Art, maker of this artwork you see right here in front of you. And you guys can get your hands on some of this artwork by visiting his website, gassyjackart.com. It is right there. He's got plenty of Blue Jays prints too, so go ahead and get yours today. Now, welcome to the World Series preview episode of the Inside Jays podcast, episode 13. I know we were on a long hiatus, but I thought, why not bring it back for the World Series? As you guys may have known or heard, I tried to do it starting with the ALDS, but then I ended up actually getting sick. So I ended up not being able to do it, and then I just didn't think it was worth it to do the ALCS, after having not been able to do the ALDS. But then the Jays went and beat the Mariners in the ALCS, and now we're in the World Series. So I said, fuck it, we're gonna do it for the World Series. So game one, the Toronto Blue Jays versus the LA Dodgers in the World Series. Man, that feels absolutely fucking incredible to say. Sorry if I'm being a little not loud. My wife is sleeping in the room next door, and I'm trying to contain my excitement for this. I still can't believe that we're here and the Blue Jays are in the fucking World Series. For the first time in 32 years, I've been waiting for this for 32 years. I am 34 years old now. I was 2 years old the last time the Blue Jays made it to the World Series and won it all. So I've been waiting for this for 32 years, and I am absolutely freaking pumped. I thought we were going to do it in 2015, but it just wasn't meant to be. And now here we are in 2025, 10 years later, and we are only 4 wins away from our third World Series. Now, obviously, yesterday it was revealed that Trey Savage is going to be the Game 1 starter for the Blue Jays going up against Blake Snell. What a matchup, I've got to say. A former multiple-time Cy Young Award winner against a young man who has gone from single-A ball back in April to a Game 1 starter in the World Series. Like, wow. And not to mention, Trey Savage, 22 years old. And this is, his 6th, 7th postseason start? He started more games in the postseason than he did in the regular season through all of the levels he went through over the course of this season. The story of Trey Savage is just absolutely incredible. But it's like what the kid said. He was fucking built for this. And he's going to have the toughest start of his major league career here today against the Dodgers. But hey, I've got faith in the kid, and these Dodgers haven't seen this kid. They haven't seen the arm angle, and Trey is going to be fired up for this opportunity. Now, as of the recording of this early Friday morning, we still do not have the set roster for the Toronto Blue Jays. They have until 10 a.m. Eastern time, so about 7 a.m. Pacific to do it. Right now, it is actually 2:43 in the morning at the time of me recording this. But it is, of course, very likely that Bo Bichette will be on the roster, and it's looking like the Jays are going to remove a pitcher in order to accommodate Bo. That is what I'm hearing. That is where the Blue Jays are going. They're going to remove a pitcher so they can add Bo, which begs the question, who's coming out? Well, it's looking like perhaps Yariel Rodriguez is the one who drew the short end of the stick. This is just speculation. I could be wrong. Now, we'll know for sure in a few hours, or by the time this video is published, we will know who is on the World Series roster. But as I said, I'm absolutely pumped. For those of you that may not know, I'll be live streaming Game 2 on Saturday. Obviously, I would love to stream Game 1, or rather live stream Game 1, but unfortunately, I'm working until 5:30. First pitch is likely going to happen around 5 or maybe just after 5. So I'm going to have to bolt it home from work which takes 10 to 15 minutes on a good day, possibly even 30 minutes on maybe a bad day to get home. So I won't have time to set everything up to live stream the game, unfortunately, for game 1. But I will be watching it, and I will be actually listening to it on my way home. So, speaking of live streams, I'll also be live streaming game 3. Unfortunately, will not be able to live stream game 4 because I'm going to be at the Canucks game. So I'll be, probably listening to the game while I'm at the Canucks game, most likely. As far as past that, I'll let you guys know. But I do want to live stream as many games as I possibly can throughout this series. Now, I know a lot of people are pegging the Dodgers to win it all. They are, after all, the Dodgers. And that they are going to be no match for the Jays and are going to steamroll over them, much like they did with the Reds, the Phillies, and then the Brewers. Nah. Not happening. My prediction for this series, like my own personal prediction, is it'll go. I changed it. I originally said it was going to go the full 7. I've since changed it to 6 games, and that the Blue Jays are going to edge it out. They're going to win the World Series against the Dodgers. I mean, history is on the Blue Jays' side, and that is what a lot of people have been saying. Also, in my opinion, I feel as though the Dodgers have had an easier road to the World Series, while the Jays just don't quit, and they are absolutely wanting to win it all. Vladdy wants to win it all. He wants to get that championship ring and hand it to his dad, Vlad Sr., and I'm all for it. Granted, I will admit the Dodgers' pitching rotation scares the shit out of me. You've got Blake Snell, whom I mentioned earlier, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, and Shohei Ohtani. Not to mention potentially Clayton Kershaw, who will be on the World Series roster, as announced by Dave Roberts, the manager of the LA Dodgers. Now, the Dodgers rotation absolutely dominated the Brewers and in the NLCS. I will admit I did not watch the NLCS, so I did do a little bit of research and look at how the NLCS went. And that Dodgers rotation helped them sweep the Brewers. In that entire series, that 4-game series, the Brewers only had 4 runs in the entire series. Only scored 4 runs. And it was 1, 1, 1, 1. Basically was the Brewers. Their offense completely disappeared and was stumped by the Dodgers pitching rotation. Let's not forget also, Dodgers are 9-1 in this postseason. They've lost once. And that only loss coming at the hands of the Phillies in Game 3 of the NLDS. Speaking of the NLDS, the Phillies, that one game that they beat the Dodgers, beat them by a score of 8-2. That was the most runs they scored in that entire series. They had 3 runs in the other 2 games. So the lone game that Philly bats woke up, they beat the Dodgers, but it was just that one game. As I mentioned earlier, I feel as though the Dodgers had an easier path. They swept the Reds, who, let's face it, didn't even belong in the wild card series, let alone the postseason. I'm sorry, but the Reds suck. Beat the Phillies 3-1 in that series. And then, of course, they sweep the Brewers. Now, there's this stat that I saw that's floating around social media that teams that go to Game 7 and win Game 7 are 4-0 against teams that sweep their championship series. Hey, like I said, history is on the Blue Jays side, and hey, let's fucking go. Can the Jays make it 5-0? I absolutely freaking hope so. like I said, history is on the Blue Jays side. Now, the Dodgers, as I mentioned with the Brewers, the offense didn't show up. Phillies' offense was hardly there. Like, they showed up for one game, and that was pretty much about it. The Reds' offense, we don't even have to discuss that because, like I said, the Reds suck. Now, the Dodgers are about to face the best offensive team in the postseason with these Toronto Blue Jays. So I am curious to see what goes down. The Jays aren't a team that normally strikes out. We all know that. We've seen that throughout the postseason. The Jays, though, are a very good fastball hitting team. And the Dodgers, their strategy is to not throw fastballs. That is their rotations strategy. Don't throw the fastball, throw the off speed. So it'll be interesting to see how the Blue Jays adjust their own strategy, or if maybe the Dodgers go with a different strategy. Maybe they'll be thinking like, oh, the Blue Jays are expecting us to throw off speed. Let's throw the fastball. But I also feel as though if the Dodgers do that, they're going to get fucking burned. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has 6 home runs here in the postseason. Shohei Ohtani has 5. Vladdy is outperforming Shohei Ohtani in this postseason. Granted, I know Shohei is a two-way player. He did have that game where he pitched, 6 scoreless innings and had 3 home runs. Yeah, but at the same time, Vladdy is outperforming Shohei Ohtani offensively. Vladdy has 12 RBIs to Shohei's 9. Vladdy has 11 runs to Shohei's 7. Not to mention, Vladdy has only struck out 3 times this postseason. And we are in the World Series now. The Jays are 7-4. The Dodgers are 9-1. And out of all those games, Vladdy has struck out 3 times. Shohei Ohtani has struck out 22 times. Wow. Like, that stat fucking shocked me. Now, the question is for you guys. Who would you rather have hitting with the game on the line, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. or Shohei Ohtani? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, I know in the ALCS, a lot of people had the Mariners pegged to win, to beat the Blue Jays. Even some Blue Jays fans were like, okay, this Seattle Mariners team is really freaking good, and this is going to be a tough series for the Blue Jays. And a lot of them were giving the Mariners the edge, especially because of guys like Cal Raleigh, Big Dumper, Julio Rodriguez, Eugenio Suarez, not to mention their pitching was really good. And even more people were hopping on that, especially after the Blue Jays went down 2-0 in the series. Now, I never lost hope for the Blue Jays. And let me just clarify something. I'm also a big Mariners fan too. I just love the Mariners. I love the Blue Jays. Obviously, I love the Blue Jays just a little bit more, and was obviously rooting for the Blue Jays against the Mariners. I do have some friends that are real big Mariners fans. So I was kind of stuck in the middle during that series. I was rooting for both teams. I did not know who to root for, at least at the beginning. Obviously, as the series went along, that leaned more towards the Blue Jays for obvious reasons. But the pitching matchups. Now, we only know the Game 1 starter for the Blue Jays, as we talked about earlier. It's Trey Savage. We do know, as we mentioned also earlier, Blake Snell is starting Game 1. Game 2 is Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who is absolutely scary when it comes to pitching. I am absolutely scared shitless of that man. And whoever starts Game 2 for the Blue Jays, probably most likely going to be Kevin Gausman. That's going to be one heck of a matchup. I mean, these first 2 games, the pitching matchups are incredible between Snell and Savage, and potentially Gausman and Yamamoto. And then I believe it's Game 3 is going to be Tyler Glasnow, and then Game 4 is Shohei Ohtani, at least on the Dodgers side. Now, that brings us to Game 3 for the Blue Jays. Who's going to start? Could it be Shane Bieber? Could it even be Max Scherzer? Could the Dodgers even switch things around and maybe have, instead of Glasnow, have Clayton Kershaw? Everyone knows this is Kershaw's final season. After this postseason is over, Clayton Kershaw's career is over. No, he's done. He's retired. So maybe they want him to go out on a bang or something like that. Have him maybe start Game 3 instead of Glasnow. Maybe have Glasnow pitch out of the pen. But just imagine this scenario. Dodgers pick Clayton Kershaw as the Game 3 starter. The Blue Jays pick Max Scherzer as the Game 3 starter. Imagine that. Game 3 of the World Series, Mad Max versus Kershaw. I mean, we saw them go toe-to-toe during the regular season. Unfortunately, the Dodgers came away with the win in that game. But we saw that nice moment between Kershaw and Scherzer. Obviously, both are former teammates with the Dodgers. And obviously, both are bona fide Hall of Famers. But just imagine if we saw that in Game 3, or heck, maybe even Game 4 of the World Series. Mad Max versus Clayton Kershaw. Let me know in the comment section down below. Would you guys like to see that? Do you guys think that could possibly happen in Game 3? Obviously, with Trey Savage pitching Game 1, that opens him up to pitch in, Game 5, maybe Game 6. And obviously, remember, the Blue Jays have home field advantage throughout the World Series. So Games 1 and 2 at the Rogers Center. Games 3, 4, 5 are in LA. Games 6 and 7, if necessary, are at the Rogers Center. Obviously, Game 5, also if necessary. But 6, 7 are going to be in Toronto. One of those games, Trey Savage is probably going to pitch, and maybe even Gausman will pitch Game 7. Who knows? Maybe we'll see Bieber again. I don't know. We will get there once we get there. I don't want to get a little too overhead of myself with that. But go ahead in the comment section down below. Give me your predictions for each game. Score-wise. Game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let me know your predictions for the World Series. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? Go ahead. Be open-minded. If you guys are Blue Jays fans, absolutely say the Blue Jays. I'm saying the Blue Jays in 6. Go ahead. Give me your predictions down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this little sneak peek, little preview. Very short, last minute, I will admit, as the game technically starts today. But yeah, let me know your predictions for this World Series in the comments down below. And I hope to see you guys on Saturday for the live stream. I am absolutely pumped to be doing that. This is actually going to be the first time I'm live streaming an entire game. So we're going to be starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That is 6 p.m. Eastern time for those of you on the East Coast potentially watching this. And yeah, come watch the game with me. I'm going to have it on my little laptop. I'll be watching it. Maybe I'll do a little bit of commentary. I mean, nobody touches Buck and Dan, so I will do my utmost best, but I don't hold a candle to those two. And let's just watch it together, and hopefully we have another amazing game. I don't expect it to be the levels of Game 7 in the ALCS, but guys, this is the fucking World Series. Let's freaking go. I hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, if you guys like this video, be sure to stay up to date on all your Blue Jays content on this channel. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. And we're everywhere on social media. You can find us anywhere. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, at Inside Jays Pod. find us, follow us, and follow along on this World Series journey. Hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, remember, tarps off. Let's fucking go. And I'll see you guys on Saturday.